Alright, you didgeridoos. That's my fucking I just ended up copywriting my own short form finale video, I think, right? Or the part 14, whatever the fuck. Either way, that aside, welcome back to Cute Bots Artwod Workout, right? Where we learn how to draw mechs. It's basically literally a mech design workout, or not a mech design workout, but a mech workout. And the second step is to learn about hinges, pivots, and ball and joints. Right now, what we've done is we've practiced hinges. We tried creating our own, and then now we're actually referencing existing hinges. So this is an existing design. As you can see, I drew it a million times, right? A bunch from memory, a bunch from reference, understanding the shapes, and then this I did it from memory, so you can see already like a lot better. And I added like a bunch of little things to showcase that it can just be complicated. But honestly, this entire session, I don't think I tried hard enough. I don't think I used my brain hard enough. So the goal for this session is just excess cognitive friction and discomfort. I really want to get into the practice of really using my brain. I feel as if I haven't been trying hard enough. So, and how I'm going to do that is I'll draw the thing from memory, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to think about it from a different perspective. So very difficult. So let's start that right now. And already my brain's dying. But this is what I want. This is going to be a very slow session, so draw along with me, right? There's not going to be much drawing that's done in terms of like actual physical drawing. It's drawing is thinking, and I need to improve my thinking abilities, right? We need to push beyond. So yeah, join me, draw along, right? Push yourself and use me as background ASMR and give me retention, because I know you're lonely and I know I need money. So let's go. Right, let's start it. But again, trying to draw this from memory is already going to be difficult. But trying to draw this from memory while thinking about it from a different angle is also going to be excessively difficult. I guess I'll start with the hinge, like the actual hinge itself, right? And again, even as I draw this, I need to be thinking about it from a different perspective. So we'll establish top-down perspective in our mind, right? Just a top-down perspective, very difficult. And again, my lines need to be very clean. I need to think about the box as much as possible as well. While I do this, that is already incredibly difficult, right? And I'm gonna do it the other way. So let's see. If I'm thinking about it at the top, then I should actually think about it from the bottom, right? So again, the box is just, it's going around, right? And then it what? Ooh, and this is the part where it's difficult, right? So I just need to, there you go. And then we can do a bunch of, now is that accurate? No. Is that a mistake? Of course. And how does that make me feel? Very happy. Because this is incredibly fucking difficult. But this is what I want. This is literally what I want. I want it to be this challenging. Because it's not just about me drawing it from a different perspective. I also need to understand what it is that I'm drawing, right? And that's already very difficult. But this is why we're trying, right? I want to make it very clear. Like, I'm envisioning this in a box, and then I'm drawing it in a different perspective in my mind. Like, I'm trying to keep it in a different perspective in my mind as I draw it, right? So that, and I'm doing this from memory as well, right? So those are all multiple things that are occurring at once, right? And it's hard to keep track of all of them, of course, but I'm doing my best to keep track of all of them. And yes, while it's occurring, I'm still trying to draw this in my mind from the different perspective, right? Because we have to understand what it is that we're doing. So, very difficult. Very, very difficult. And then we have something like There you go, something like that, right? And we have to think about and these lines are obviously going to be very subpar. That's okay too. Oof. This is what I wanted. So like I don't mind. Like last episode, quote unquote, literally like fucking 30 minutes ago, right? The session that I had, it was all about yeah, it was all about understanding what it is that I was drawing, right? Like literally memorizing the shapes. And that's fine. That's very necessary. But now we're doing something different, right? So we need to accommodate for that. Oof. See, doing this backwards in my mind is so hard. Like, think about it from this perspective. But it really helps. And again, we have this. And I don't even think it's... Actually, no, the proportions are correct. So I'm drawing very small now, right? So... It's actually absolutely correct. Something like that. I think that was incorrect, which is good. But let's see. Oh, but I see I didn't think about it from a different perspective at that point. Oof. But this hurts the brain so fucking good. But this is how I'm gonna learn. Drawing from memory and rotating in my mind in a different perspective as I'm drawing it. Right? Thinking about it from multiple angles. Because I already rotate things. I'm already getting better at rotating things in my mind. But to rotate it while I'm drawing it, I think that's the next step. And again, this might be something completely obvious, right? This might be like every proficient artist might be like, of course you're rotating it in your mind as you're drawing it. But it's a new skill to me, so obviously it's incredibly difficult to visualize, right? So but the thing is, the operative word is what? Skill. Skill, right? Not talent, but skill. Now, what the fuck does this look like? Oh yeah, it's like this. Right. And there you go. And then this thing comes across like that. Right. And we can just... And I'm drawing super small. Don't worry, I'm well aware. Right. And then there's another cylinder coming out through here. Look at that. I've already gotten the hinge down a lot better than what it was before. Right. That's pretty good. Because that is the hinge. Right. It's this. I don't think if I... Yeah, it is coming out a little bit. Right. That's not bad. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. Well, that only took 10 minutes. So clearly, using my brain and exerting it to a very insane degree isn't as difficult as I thought it would be, which means I can do it again. Right? If I can do it once, I can do it again. Now let's try it again from this way. And we'll start here. Well, no, I want to start in difficult angles, right? So we want to do something like this. And I think this is a good size for me to keep it as, but then again, it's not really about the size, it's about how you use it. And I have nothing to use, so we have to focus on proportion. And again, I like this is difficult, like when you start off trying to think about it in your mind, what it looks like, but already I'm getting slightly better Keyword being slightly, of course. Better at doing it. And the best part is, the more you do it, the better you get. It's impossible to not get better. Okay, so I should have made this further out, because clearly this ended up being larger than I intended. So there's gonna be a bit of, just a bit of crossover. But again, I got the biggest thing is I gotta keep visualizing this from a different perspective while I draw it, and I gotta make sure that it's applicable to what I'm doing, in the sense that like I'm actually thinking about the actual design. I'm not just dicking around, right? There you go. And there you go. See? So now I have a few things that I need to keep in mind, because clearly I have established that this is where it lies. So again, I gotta think about this in a different perspective while I'm drawing it, so it's incredibly difficult, because I'm also rotating in my mind. So we have to be aware of the fact that this is something we have to do while we draw. I'm sure this is very enlightening for those who what's it called, who are actually trying to get good. They're like, oh shit, this is another level that we can, yeah, like we can just keep thinking of ways to push. Like the next level of this would be thinking about it in two different perspectives while I'm drawing it in an existing perspective, right? I honestly think it can, like, that is probably, no, it doesn't need to go more than that. Thinking of it in two different perspectives while you're already drawing in one perspective, right? So that's 3 total perspectives that you're rotating in your mind consistently as you're drawing it, right? And I think after that it might just be a bit unnecessary. Who knows? Right. We're just gonna have to and then I'm trying to think. Right. Something like that. This obviously has issues. See, I lost the perspective there, the second perspective in my mind. Completely lost it. Oh, and this is incorrect, I think. But I'm not going to look at the other examples. We just need to keep going. And then what? This is where the perspective really matters. Right? Yeah, something like that. It sort of curves inward. I'm still trying to figure out the nuance of that, but it's more difficult than I had anticipated. Okay, we'll leave it at that because I obviously didn't draw the entire thing. This isn't connecting correctly. It should have been something like this, actually. There you go. See? That's a lot better. Should have been, yeah, something like that. Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense. Which is good. That's an amazing error. So I'm going to rest my brain again. And then we're going to keep drawing it from different perspectives in our mind and so on and blah, blah, blah. But this is good. This is really fucking good. I'm loving this. McDonald's. I copyrighted them, but they actually owe me royalties, so we're on even footing, right? I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Anyways, I'm resting my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Goodbye. And I also have to think about the angle that this is drawn in, right? So the main thing that has to be acknowledged is, again, this is just memory drawing, so it's like this. Right? And then it's coming down, and then it's going in. And it's like that. So what would that be on this side? It's just like that, right? Yeah, so we just have to follow the curve, but how does that look on this angle? It's like that. It's going inward, right? So if we're trying to follow this example, okay, well, that's not what it looks like, but just trying to think out loud. Because from the front, it's literally this, right? From the front, it's this. That's basically what it is. But that's on a flat plane, right? It's just like a half, half of a perfect circle, right? That's a flat plane, right? And then we have this whole thing, but that's the front. So again, in 3 dimensions, and this is still a good practice because I can still think about this from a different perspective while I'm drawing it, right? So in 3 dimensions, it is, actually, might as well just draw the entire box. That's probably what's going to help a lot here, right? So and if we have this, right? So it's curving, and then it's like that, and then it's coming straight, right? And this is where we have this, and then what is happening here? Oh, it's just following it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Whatever, that's not obviously what it looks like, but well, that technically is. And then same here, we just still follow what needs to be followed, right? Because it's still encompassing the entire box. And then it's also coming in. Okay, well, obviously I should have made this a lot bigger. And then it's like that. And then we have the ellipse on the other side, or the cylinder on the other side. It's incredible how we don't think of these manipulations, but then once we see them in real life, and if you're okay enough at spatial reasoning, right, it's like, oh shit, here's just another way you can manipulate shapes. Like, I never thought of doing something where it's like a curve and then it's coming in. But the thing is, this is what they teach in artwod is this. This is literally fucking, if you think about it, it's just form wrapping, right? But I never thought of it that way because I actually haven't practiced form wrapping much, right? So it makes complete sense why I never thought of it that way. But now I can be like, oh shit, it's just wrapping around a cylinder. It's just wrapping around a larger cylinder, right? That's what it is. If we have a cylinder like this, it's just wrapping around it. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna go, and then like, oh, let me just add a little semi-sphere, and then this is just, okay, well, I had my, well, that's too what's it called, apparent, yeah, right, it's just on 2 planes, right? So this is going down, and then from this point to this point we just need a very organic curve. Same here, We have to think about it in terms of points, I think, right? Because then look, we have this, and this is on a different plane. It's like whoop, right? And then this can, there you go, just like that, right? Ta-da! Boom. There you go. That's how it connects, right? Just like that. But again, understanding the logic of understanding the logic of that is much more important. So let's draw it from memory again. Let's just draw this specific piece from memory while thinking about it from a different angle, right? And this is also really good practice because I'm already struggling to think about it. But that's what matters the most, is that I struggle. That and oh, see, I lost it again. I was trying to think about it from the bottom, right? It's all about perspective. It's always all about perspective. Perspective is good. You can get away with a lot, right? And then what? Oh, yeah, this goes back there. And that's also connected to that. But I don't even think I understand the shape as well as I would like to, but for the time being, we could just say this is the shape, right? That's the shape. But we'll draw it from a different angle now. And again, I want to obviously use up as much of the page as possible. So we'll do it again here. We'll do it from the bottom. So that'll make it a lot more difficult, right? So start with that. And again, do something like so good. I fucking love this exercise, man. I love that I didn't come up with it, but I love that I thought of this for myself, because it genuinely makes such a difference in how I think about perspective. Right? It's so obvious too. Literally just think about it from a different perspective while you're drawing it, you know? But to do that requires such an extraneous amount of brain energy that obviously we shy away from it. So yeah, it's basically this. Genius. I'm a genius. Oh, or as the Swedish say, genius. But I'm not Yiddish. So, what is Yiddish? That's another question I have. TBH. Okay, let's draw. Let's just draw this from. Let's draw in one perspective while thinking about it from another perspective, as we do. I just got to think about how I want to draw it initially, and then where I want to look at it. Well, let's draw it from the underside because we haven't done that yet, have we? No, we have not. So draw it like this. Have I done that yet? No, I have not. Okay, cool. I think that's small enough. Hopefully that it doesn't, because again, like I still have to understand proportion in my mind decently well, right? So we still have to think about that. Actually, I'm changing the orientation because I actually have not drawn it in the way that would be challenging enough, right? So we have to change it up a little bit. Right. Again, I think it's, there you go. Right? Because then it's like this. Incredibly difficult. Incredibly difficult. See, I fucked up the thing again. But Saguchi. Let's just keep going. Oof, this is really hard to think about. Let me take a break. Or not a break, but let me take a pause. A momentary pause. Right? And let's think about it. Okay. Oof, that is super difficult to think about. Let me just zoom out for a sec. Right? Should be somewhere right around here. Okay, I think that's fine. See, it's all very blurry. It's all very blurry, but this is how we practice. This is how now I feel like I really challenged myself. Now I'm really feeling like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking pushing my brain. But do you see how I don't have to think about the design anymore? In the sense that I learned a hinge design, and now rather than using a lot of brain energy being like, I have to design and think about it in a different perspective, it's like, no, I've already practiced this design for a good hour and I've internalized it to a relatively decent degree. And now it's just about doing it, right? Just doing the fucking hard one, which is thinking about it from one perspective and then drawing it from another. There you go. That is not bad. That is not bad whatsoever. It's not as if we're done yet, mind you, but already. Okay, probably should have been connected more like that. Yeah, there you go. And we'll just ignore that line. That line is a complete mistake, but I want to get the line right more than anything. Right? There you go. And again, we have to think about what this looks like. Because I don't know what it looks like from the back, obviously. So we're just going to have to do a little bit of estimation. Right? Perhaps it looks like this. And we can just make it a little bit intense or interesting. Right? Again, I lost the perspective there, like the second perspective I'm trying to see it in my mind as. Right? This is how we learn. Oh, this is so exciting. There you go. Huh, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. With, perspective mistakes aside. Right? Oh wait, this should have been like this actually. I completely fucked it up. See, I completely forgot. It should be like... Right. then see, because I lost the perspective here. I completely lost the perspective. So that's on me. Yeah, I lost the perspective. So now, oh, figuring this out is going to be very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. Right? And obviously that line's a mistake, but figuring this out, oof, ooh, my brain. Actually, that's not even what I should have done. I should have done this. It's probably the same thing from the back as well, right? So we should have probably just had this going in like that. It's probably the exact same thing on the other side. I don't know why I assumed it'd be otherwise, but okay. See, I lost the perspective overall, so we just need to recalibrate. And overall, this thing doesn't have the best perspective either. We just need to recalibrate, and then we need to what is it? What is the attachment? What is the attachment? Something like. See, now I have to think about what it's like on the other side. Pretty sure this is not inaccurate, but I have to think now, right? There you go. Something like that. It's okay, that's pretty off. That's pretty off. But that's pretty good. That was very difficult. I was thinking about, in my mind, like while I was drawing this, as many times as I could. I would say like a solid 40%, which was a huge improvement. Like 40, 45. I was thinking about it from like this perspective. Like top down, but from here, right? So that's really good. I'm gonna rest my brain. That was a fucking well-earned rest. See, this is what I mean when I say I'm trying to really, really challenge my brain. Is I'm genuinely trying to push it to a point where I have to think about multiple things at once while drawing, right? And yeah, we do that all the time when we're drawing, but I'm trying to keep pushing the limit as to what that multiple things is, like the intensity of those things as well as the frequency and the consistency of those things. Also, let's just, for our sake, so we actually understand the what's occurring, right? Let's just keep reinforcing what the hinge axis of rotation, like which axis is it rotating on? It's rotating on this axis, because if we have this, we have this, and we have this, it's rotating on this one, right? This is the axis it's rotating on. That was just a box I was drawing to make a point. Like this is, they're both, that's the box it's in. Anyways, same with here, right? This is the axis of rotation. Because remember, we're not just drawing shapes now. We are drawing functional mechanisms, right? That's what I'm trying to get in my mind, is we are now drawing functional mechanisms. So we have to understand what is the mechanism and how is it functioning. It is a hinge and it is rotating on this axis, right? Same thing here. It is rotating on this axis, right? That's what we are defining for ourselves at this point. So yeah, let me rest my brain. Let me rest my brain, and then we'll continue. That was good. I hope you're challenging yourselves and really appreciating the fact that you're putting in all this effort, and you continue to do so. But I encourage you to rest your brain as well, right? When did Vagu get so eloquent? That's me. I'm Vagu. But when did he get so eloquent? I've always been this eloquent. You just haven't been paying attention because of the background music and the copyright you're willing to send on my channel. Fucking Music Pro pieces of shits. They don't even own the background music. Did you know that? They don't own it. It's an unreleased OST by Chainsaw Man. They're not affiliated at all with the company. Some fucking piece of shit just... I don't know who she is, but she fucking just decided to create a cover of that song, named it, I'm not gonna say what it is because she literally named it as a fucking spoiler for the series, so I will not even say what it is, but it's the Chainsaw Man trailer background music is like the unreleased version, right? And because she literally just created an OST and is licensed with that company, and it's her song now, right? Like she made a cover out of it, just because snippets of her song sound similar to, lo and behold, the fucking original unreleased OST. They're saying that they have a claim on this, and I got a claim, and I tried disputing it. Every single time I've disputed it, they've allowed it. But now I have, oh, lo and behold, this guy's almost at 700 subs. Congrats, he gets a paltry 20 views, right? Like we want some of that ad share revenue. So yeah, I got a claim. But yeah, I'm not gonna do an appeal. Otherwise, I don't want a fucking copyright strike over something stupid. So, all that to say, buy my merchandise in the future if you're listening. Buy my merch. Go on my Patreon. Fucking support this channel, right? And i.e., give me money because I'm not making money from YouTube, and I am broke and begging. So, with that being said, I'm gonna rest my brain. Yeah, see, I can genuinely proudly rest my brain now, knowing that I put in an honest effort, right? I'm not saying I didn't put in an honest effort before, but this is the type of effort I want to put in all the time, like to this degree, you know, just constantly thinking about it from a different perspective. This is what I want to train. This is just what I want to train, right? I want, if quote unquote Road to Kim Jong-il, if I'm trying to be at his level in 20 to 30 years, right, in terms of spatial reasoning and relatively decent visual library, right? I'm not saying he had a relatively decent visual library. I'm saying he had an amazing visual library. And if I were to have his level of spatial reasoning and at least a relatively decent visual library, like maybe fucking 50, 60 things in my mind that are consistently detailed. I believe this is the extent which one has to push their mind to, right, and their abilities to. But yeah, anyways, let's keep going. It's been half an hour, but it feels so much slower when you push your mind to this degree, which is nice, right? Let's keep practicing this shape because I want to keep getting that down, right? Actually, no, let's just draw the entire thing. Fuck it. This time I'm going to think about it in a different angle, obviously. And we'll just keep doing that. We'll just keep doing that until, lo and behold, just God tier. See, that was pretty mediocre, I think. But still something that I'm working towards, right? So we can't blame ourselves. We can only hate ourselves. Let's see. Already do this. Right. This comes down. I'm trying to think about it from a different perspective. Right? And then this over here. Let's see what's. I'm trying to think. Right? There you go. That's the hinge. That's the hinge. Again, I'm really trying. It gets super difficult. It's in and out, right? This one was great, and like there were a couple instances where I was able to keep it in mind in like in a different perspective in my mind while drawing it in this particular, or like whatever. Like there were a couple moments or a couple sessions, I think this one and this one, where I was able to think about it in a different perspective while I was drawing it. And that was consistent, like at least 30 to 40%. Now, but in general, my average has been 5 to 10, and now because I'm making a concentrated effort, it's flickering into more, right? But the effort doesn't get any easier right now because you're always putting a specific amount of effort into something or the other, right? It's just about what you put it into. See, something like that. And oh wait, we should probably do something like this, right? But just trying to think. Again, like, see, I lost it there. I could barely think about it from a different perspective. And it's difficult, don't get me wrong, it's very difficult. That's what I say all the time, right? Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. It's very difficult, don't get me wrong. But in case you did get me wrong, don't. Right? And again, fucking, that's a huge brain. That is so fucking, that is a goddamn brain turner if I've ever experienced one, right? Something like that. I don't know. I think I fucked it up there. I definitely fucked it up there, but again, I'm trying so hard to keep all the perspective stuff in mind. It is hilarious how hard I'm trying. But see, that's not right either, because it is. That's what it should have been like. It should have been like this. Or, sorry, like that. But actually, that still works. Wow, that still works. Right? It has issues. Honestly, this kind of looks like a whistle shape. But that's because I made this too thick, right? Made this way too thick. But, and this is too small in comparison, I believe. Proportions are obviously something I'm consistently trying to figure out. But yeah, that's really difficult, man. That's incredibly difficult. Let's try to figure this shape out again. And it's like this, right? And let's just draw the fucking cylinder on top of it. And I'm trying to think about this from the bottom perspective now. So I'm trying to think about it like from literally the bottom, right? Because if I can understand it from there, it should make life a little bit easier. This is gonna have to be a wider base. I know it's not that wide actually in the reference, but just because I didn't center it properly, right? So something like this, and then like that. Same thing, just fucked up the perspective already, but there you go, see? There you go. Same thing here. Right? Same thing back there. Back there. Right? Oof, lost the perspective again. Wunderbar, wunderbar. And then it's just... that's too pronounced, of course. It's not actually this pronounced. Right, but again, if we were to just put the cylinder around it, it's basically something like that. Right? And again, I'm still trying to think about it from the bottom perspective as I'm doing this. It's basically something like this. But it's too thick, I believe. Well, I'm just drawing it larger, so I guess it's fine. Right? But... I just need to obviously make sure the cylinder looks decent. But that is basically the shape. Okay, well, completely fucked up the perspective. Look at this cylinder, and this thing's minor axis, and look at this thing's... Yeah, that's a good mistake. Okay, I'm gonna keep practicing this shape. I feel as if that's the big thing holding me back right now, is just consistency of this shape, and obviously try to do it in as many proportions as possible. but I genuinely think this shape is what's holding me back right now. Right. There you go. Same thing on this side. I'm adding these little lines that you see here because that's what I see in the reference. Well, I haven't looked at the reference like all this session. It was all last session, but that's why I'm doing it, in case you're wondering. Right. There you go. That's a bit better. This would probably help. There you go. Okay, that already looks 10 times better. Adding these, like actually connecting it. Where the fuck is the other one that I drew? Where the fuck did it go? Am I blind? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, doing that already. Oh, that makes it so much more tangible. And that's actually what the reference has too. I just wasn't doing it. I just wasn't doing it for some reason. But yeah, that makes it a lot better. Yeah, there you go. Now we can add the cylinder. Right. And that's basically the shape. A lot closer. Definitely a lot closer than what I had it as previously. Although the back could use a little bit of work. But there you go. That's a lot better. But I didn't think about it from a different perspective while I was drawing this. So there you go. Like, you see how fucking hard that shit is? Do you understand how many fucking times do I have to say it? How many times do I have to say that this is all incredibly doubly difficult? Right? How many times? The answer is every single time. Right. Again, if I do it from the... Let me... Just this piece. I need to imagine from a different perspective. Wait, hold up. I like having my lines tiny, to be honest. I personally think it's pretty awesome. I understand, and I 100% because I'm going to be drawing a manga, right? I know that I have to be able to draw big and small lines. I need to be able to create big dynamic spreads, as well as, you know, like the regular small stuff, right? Like these small intricate details. I know that. That's why I'm never shying away from just practicing how it is in terms of, or like practicing different proportions. Sorry, fucking distracted as hell because I'm drawing, obviously. I know that, but I think like watching Kim Jong-il draw and like how tiny he draws things sometimes. Not that he draws it like insanely tiny, but how clean he's able to get his lines. It's just so enamoring to me. It's so fucking enamoring. See, like that's a pretty bad line. See, that's also pretty bad. But yeah, like I love how he's able to create such smooth details with such subtle line work. It's not just him, by the way. Peter Han, I watched a video of his recently. He obviously does the same shit. I mean, any proficient artist is able to do it. And obviously, I know some of them draw larger, some of them draw smaller. Like I'm well aware, right? I'm still trying to figure out that balance for myself as well. I'm just extremely enamored by it. There's nothing really. It's so hard. I can't really say anything else apart from. It's just okay. Hold up. It's just so impressive for me, personally. Okay, that's also a bit difficult, right? So if it's like this, then we have kind of like, I know surrounding a cylinder, so obviously I shouldn't have used this, the fucking square plane as an example. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's that I personally find that very, very enamoring. But that's just me, right? That's just how I feel about it. I know I probably say things very harshly, like, oh, you have to draw like this and you have to draw like that. But the only things I'll ever be like that about is form, to be honest. Just, you have to understand form to create 3D representational art, right? Ain't no fucking way 20 years from now when I'm 10 times more proficient and I've gotten so much more knowledge and reps and practice, if I fucking say any stupid shit like, oh, it doesn't, just vibe it out, just fucking kill me, because fucking never forget as a beginner how much work you put in, Biggie. Never forget, because you'll probably put in equal amounts of work even as a more advanced beginner, right? Maybe I'm an advanced beginner now, I don't know, but I refuse to fucking sugarcoat the learning process and what specific things need to be learned. I refuse. Oof, there you go. There's the subtlety I was looking for. See, it's across, this is the thing, like, this is how I'm thinking about it, right? It's literally 3 different planes it's crossing. It's this one, and this one, right? So it's doing a diagonal as well. So like, if this was just going down like this, you see it'd be going like that, but no, it's going down and then it's supposed to diagonalize. And I actually got to find a good frame of reference. Like, it's this type of diagonal. So it's like this. I know that just looks muddied now, but if I were to do it on the other end, it'd be something like, yeah, see, like that, like super subtle and nice. And then we have this, right? There you go, and it's like, wee, right? And something like that. Something like that. But yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm gonna rest my brain, and then I'm gonna continue for, like, I'll probably do a memory drawing now, because still figuring out the shapes, but it's probably best to do another really hardcore memory drawing. So, all right, ignore all the squeaky noises. That's just me fucking getting up from my chair and checking how much time has passed and if the camera's recording properly and if the pages and the viewfinder are centered, all that shit. Anyways, rest your brain, please. You put an effort. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the same. I'm so glad I did this third hour of drawing. Never have I ever, what the fuck, isn't that a show? Disgusting. Never have I ever regretted not drawing more. Wait, what the fuck? That didn't make any sense. Never have I ever regretted drawing more. Jesus Christ. I completely just shit on my entire philosophy of putting the reps in. Never have I regretted never putting the reps in. Yes, that's true. I enjoy sitting around with my dick in my hand watching Netflix. Truly a human of all time. Okay, what perspective should we do this in? The thing is, this is I guess what I'm starting to understand, or not starting to, but I guess what I'm beginning to understand is that there's symmetry on both sides when it comes to at least this hinge, and I think hinges in general require a decent amount of symmetry, right? If I were to look at the reference, I mean, pretty fucking symmetrical. Pretty fucking symmetrical, but oh, one thing that I'm noting now is this right here, right where this part is thinner. No, wait, yeah, it's slightly thinner than this part. I guess, what's my most accurate one I have so far? This one, right? It needs to be slightly, oh, this one needs to be slightly thinner than this one. And the cylinders need to be quite thick. Okay, so I think I understand what I've done wrong, and I will attempt to rectify it. Right. But, let's see. Okay. Which side do I want to start from, like, to actually draw? Right. Okay. I'm gonna do this. This is gonna end up being decently big. Wait, which side am I even drawing from? I need to think. See, this is incredibly difficult, even trying to visualize, right? Let's not forget, visualizing is also incredibly fucking difficult, right? I don't even see it properly. I just know what I have to draw because I've done it so much, and I vaguely see it, right? I vaguely see it. So, it's just by trying to figure that, and that's, imagine trying to visualize while you vaguely see it, and then also trying to fucking see it from a different perspective, right? I want to put that into perspective. No pun intended, right? Just, I just don't want to undersell how hard this is, right? And this is why I keep saying, like, I'm doing all of these different things. Okay, before I even start this drawing, let's go through all the skills that I'm putting into practice, right? We are focusing on clean line work, right? With an incredibly difficult brush sign pen artist pen by Pentel, right? Really retarded name. I don't know why they had to say the word pen twice, right? Brush sign pen artist pen. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, this pen, incredibly fine tip, already really difficult to use. Brush pens are already very hard to use. I obviously have been using this one for 2 years now. Holy shit, it's been 2 years. I've been practicing this with this for 2 years, and my lines still look like this, right? So very difficult pen already. Trying to focus on clean line works, pressure sensitivity. That's one skill, right? Or that's one skill with a slew of meta skills underneath it, right? Additional minor skills. Okay. On top of that, I'm trying to put this in a box in my mind. Another skill, perspective. I have to think about the vanishing points. I have to think about the horizon line. Something I do subconsciously now. But the point is, I, at the very least, have to think about the vanishing points and the perspective this lies in, right? That's one more skill. Third skill, right? While doing this, I have to visualize the shape. I have to visualize the shape. I have to visualize this to the best of my ability and exactly what comes next and what interlocks with what while I'm doing it. A third skill, visualization of complex form. So really 2 skills in one, right? On top of that, I am also thinking about it in a different perspective to the best of my ability while I'm drawing it in the perspective I've already established. Another incredibly difficult skill. That's like 5 to 6 skills in total, and I gotta keep using the word skill, right? You see how it isn't a fucking talent, it's just a bunch of tiny little skills stacked on each other in isolation, which are incredibly difficult until they aren't difficult, and then you're able to add one more thing to your repertoire in your mind because drawing is thinking, right? Of course, the fine motor skills are very important. I'm not gonna ever discount that as well. Like, it's very, very, very important. Like, you want to be able to obviously do this rather than doing this, right? You don't want to scritch. Avoid scritching at all costs. Like, this is unconfident line. If you have to keep going the line over and over, it's extremely unconfident. And there might be many artists who do that, who you look up to, but if they have strong fundamentals, it's a stylistic choice. But you'll notice people with poor fundamentals but are very good at drawing graphic shapes, right? Who's this? Josh Kim, right? There's this guy who does really, really, really beautiful portraits. He's very technically skilled, but he doesn't even understand perspective that well. But he knows how to shade very well. He's been practicing proportions clearly, right? And he's been practicing faces. But his fundamentals are actually pretty fucking subpar compared to what they could be, right? They're much worse than mine, to be honest, if we're talking about purely spatial reasoning. But either way, TLDR, those are all the things I'm thinking about while just doing this one quote-unquote simple shape. Anyways, I don't know why the fuck I went on that rant. I think I just get a moment where I'm like, people must know how hard it is. But at this point, you either know it's extremely difficult or you don't, right? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. But let's see. And again, I'm constantly trying to visualize, and sometimes I just pause to think ahead of what's coming, right? Now, again, like, the next thing I'm actually doing is trying to think ahead while I draw, because I don't do enough of that, right? I genuinely don't do enough of that, so I need to really think ahead. See, that was an unconfident line right there. Right, and we need to establish which direction we're actually drawing this from. Well, I've just established it right now in my mind. But did I establish it? Let's think about it again, because I originally wanted it to be wrapping around this way from the back here, but now I'm thinking it should be wrapping around this side, right? But again, I vaguely see this in my mind. Super vague, by the way, super fucking vague. Like, not even 30%, right? But Kim Jong-il is able to do 40 to 60, sometimes 70 to 80, depending on what his sheer amount of volume and repetitions he's put into it, and just intimacy of the subject matter, right? Intimate knowledge of the subject matter. So that's the only thing separating me and him is 30 years of what I just mentioned. Sheer volume of practicing, probably similar to this, if not way more advanced as he continued to get more advanced. But he always talks about visualization being the most important. So we just got to keep that in mind as we draw, right? So this one's bigger. So we'll make this the top. Actually, no. I mean, it's going to be the same spot, but I just wanted to make it so it's... Yeah, it's facing this way. And again, I've lost the perspective about it being in a different perspective in my mind. But I'm going to try to bring it back. I'm going to try to bring it back to the best of my ability, right? Right. Very, very interesting, I guess. Okay, again, perspective. It's very difficult. Like, this is incredibly fucking difficult. It feels as if I just always have to state it. I always have to make sure that you're all very well aware. And again, this angle, my lines are horrible. Watch. See? It's so bad. But that's how we learn. By having lines that are so bad, right? And you might think, what the fuck, that just looks like a normal line to me. No, like for me, it's not even just about the fact that the quote unquote line is so bad. It's the fact that I'm in extreme discomfort when I practice that line, which means my hand is not used to me drawing that line, right? And while I'm talking, by the way, oh, another skill I forgot to add. I'm literally talking while I'm drawing, right? That's also incredibly fucking difficult. Let's not forget that, right? Explaining what you're doing while you're doing it. Why do you think Kim Jong-un was so quiet when he drew? To a degree. But again, I'm trying to go beyond, right? And now that perspective is wrong. But that's okay, because we just accept it. We don't fight it, we just accept that it's the wrong perspective. Right? Like, look at that. The minor axis is going like this. It's incredibly wrong. Oh, see, I already put this in the wrong spot. So I haven't been, like, it's been very difficult to think. It's been incredibly. I say the word incredibly every fucking time because I don't have any other goddamn synonyms. It's very difficult. So I should have put it down here, actually. So we're already off substantially. Right. Yeah, this is just all off. So it might just be time to stop this because it's all off. It's all off. I didn't, because I made this much larger, I didn't account for where this should be spaced. So we're just gonna call it right here. And that's okay. We made a mistake, we accept the mistake. I couldn't visualize it at the end. I had a lot of trouble, but you know what? What matters, I tried extremely hard. Even while talking, even while explaining something, I tried really hard to the best of my ability to visualize this, right? I've obviously done much better in prior attempts. This was the most difficult attempt, right? But yeah, I hope me rambling about how hard art is puts it into context of all the different things I'm thinking about, right? And you might respond in two ways, one of two ways, which is holy shit, there's so much to think about, what the fuck, bro, I don't know if I can do that, or holy shit, there's so much to think about, and yet this guy has been consistently doing it and slowly been pushing through and has achieved a lot of things which are not only incredibly difficult but have clearly been demonstrated to be achievable, right? So there's two camps. That's a lot of shit, what the fuck, I don't know if I can do that, or that's a lot of shit, what the fuck, if he can do it, I can do it. You must consistently remind yourself that you are in the second camp, because you are, all right? If you're trying, that's all that matters, and you're gonna get there. Keep focusing on the right things, right? Keep practicing on the right things. Keep allowing yourself and training yourself to enjoy these difficult things. I feel fucking amazing. What an incredible session, right? I finally have not finally, but I'm back to being able to recalibrate my brain to enjoy the effort and really push myself, right? I think anybody who paid attention to the past week's worth of videos or like the prior 5 videos, right? There was a lot of up and down. There was like, oh, the fuck, like this is so difficult, and I feel like I don't feel good drawing, right? Blah blah blah. And then there was okay. So I don't know why I went up when I was talking about something negative. What the fuck? It was like, oh, this was so difficult. My mindset isn't good. And then boom, oh, like yes, enjoy the effort, enjoy the errors. They're like, oh shit, this is still difficult. But the common sentiment of when things weren't going well was expectations, versus the common sentiment of when things were going well was just pure focus on effort and errors and just expending my mental faculties, right, and my physical faculties, like with the pen, right? So again, I really, really, really want to prove, right, and inspire, because I guess I'll just finish it off on this thought. I'm not trying to waste too much of my time, to be honest. I don't give a fuck about your time. I have shit to do. I have to play piano after this. All right, fuck your time. God damn it. You don't have anything better to do. You're gonna fucking listen anyways. And if you aren't, well, then get the fuck off my channel. Like, subscribe, and give you retention. Thank you. But it's not funny. But Jesus Christ, I'm gonna kill myself. But all I'm trying to say is, without a doubt, voice crack, without a doubt, right? Inspiration. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this channel will be a beacon of knowledge and proof of what can be accomplished, provided 1, focuses on the right things, and 2, what others can accomplish, because this man has already done it. That's it. Okay? I'm again demystifying the process to greatness. 30 years from now, when this channel is still going and I'm still showing everything that I've learned, I don't want anybody to ever fucking question, how do I draw like X proficient artist, especially when it comes to draftsmanship, right? Draftsmanship. But again, like this isn't the only fundamental I'm gonna spam, right? When I get to color and like the artwod painting world fucking years from now, you can be fucking sure that I'm gonna get very, very, very excellent in values and color, especially values, and then we'll move on to color if need be. But obviously I'm gonna be practicing the grayscale primarily because manga is in grayscale, but you can be sure any fundamental that I practice, I'm gonna fucking drill and I'm gonna get excellent in. And you can be sure all of those fundamentals will rely on form, right? So, with that being said, right? Never forget, if I can do it, you can do it, and I hope you had a great session. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I hope you had a great session. I hope you practiced very hard and did your best, and that's all that matters. And you tell yourself, your brain literally learns better when you make lots of mistakes and you tell yourself, this is good. It literally objectively learns exponentially better, and you invoke much more neuroplasticity. So if you don't believe me, believe in the science. If you don't believe in the science, believe in yourself, right? And with those wise words, right, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please give me money.